continue. We'll just move forward right now, anyways. I mean, we don't have as many updates as we want to open this up for questions. So we're just going to touch on a few things, and after we touch on those few things, like I said, we'll open it up for questions. We'll probably be pretty quick here today for whoever's got the questions. Obviously, everyone in the community is waiting for the big updates, and so these are just kind of intermittent. I do have some talking points to go over before we open it up for questions. And in the grand scheme of things, for one, especially the people that are sitting here in the audience listening, all of you that are here are our top supporters, the people that are always joining in, listening, asking the questions, being involved in the community. And plenty of you here have been here with us from the moment that we launched, whether it be, before we launched Alpha Nodes, right after we launched Alpha Nodes. But the majority of, if not all of you here, have been here since the beginning. And the fact that you're still here now, it shows that it seems like we're doing something right. It seems like our holders are somewhat convicted, which no, we love that you guys are very convicted in what we're building. And we just can't wait to finally push out everything that's been worked on. The current market sentiment even today, which I'm sure a lot of you have, seen what was going through the market today. No naming names, no naming projects. But a lot of issues have been popping up left and right, especially in the DeFi sector, where protocols just aren't fulfilling promises. They aren't kind of doing the things that the investors originally thought. It just gives me even more of an impetus, and it also makes me more excited to get this out. And it makes me also stressed because I want to get it out right now, and I know that we still have to make sure it's perfect. But the fact that we've just been sitting and building in the background and ensuring that the product that we release is not going to, have the same pitfalls that these other protocols are seeing, it gives me such a good feeling in the longevity and especially the utility that our projects are going to bring our holders, and how happy the people that have stuck with us, like you all, are going to feel. So just to touch on a couple things that, just to remind you guys, I know that, like I said, you've been here from the beginning. You probably already know all of these things, but this is recorded. So, potentially anyone else that's listening in, just, a couple things that we love, just to reiterate, in a sea of other projects. Obviously, the people that are here listening, everything about us, but those that might hop in and listen to this right now or in the recording, what our marketplace is doing, we're going to be the go-to marketplace for everything. Obviously, we're going to cater to the traditional NFT collections, but we came from the DeFi space, and we want to cater to the DeFi space. So we're enabling ERC20 token trading on the marketplace, especially if a protocol needs to integrate a specific token into their ecosystem, whether they just want that to be discounts on their NFT, or they want it to just strictly be the use case or that the purchasing power, if you will, for those NFTs. We have amazing art. We've fully hired our amazing artists, Natalie and Gabby. They are working for us, pretty much full time. We're paying them full time. They love to. Everyone loves to try to utilize them for their amazing artwork, and so we do not try to keep everyone from doing anything extra. But we are happy to say that they are full time for us as our on staff artists. The wolves that they have been putting out for us. In terms of the redos for the Apex are just flawless, just mint, just absolute kiss. And so we cannot wait to show them off. We've shown off a couple. You guys have seen some in the screenshot that we've given of the marketplace. You've seen some in the marketing materials for our NFT conference in terms of the new robot. So we just can't wait to show off everything. And a few ideas that we have along with that art where you guys could get a hand on this art yourself. Let's see. So one of the biggest issues that we're also tackling here are issues that we see constantly popping up on the biggest marketplaces out there, like OpenSea and even LooksRare, where, collections that are large are either getting shafted and scammed. People are losing their tokens as they're trading them, in terms of tokens meaning NFTs. But the biggest deal and issue that we want to prevent is the fact that there are just so many scam projects where they're very proficient. I don't even want to call them developers because they're just scammers, but they can very, very quickly make a scam collection and launch it in a very specific time when another project is supposed to launch, and basically copycat that project and steal the funds. And they might only trick 100 people, but if the 100 people are, even doing a 0.08 minting price or whatnot, they just made a few grand, more than that. They made 5 figures, and they'll do this every day. And these are things that they might pick the bottom of the barrel. They might just sweep a few floors in terms of scam floors, but we want to prevent that altogether. And so we've got systems that are being built where we can quickly and efficiently, insert, if you will, a ton of projects that are fully vetted, but also new projects, because we know that we need to scale, can immediately get added to our marketplace as verified collections, and we only support verified collections, not random ones. Biggest reason for that is we don't want anyone listing on our marketplace that could be scamming. We want to make sure that this is a place of safety and security, something that's not often seen in DeFi because it's the Wild West. But we want to ensure that people, at the end of the day, we're a business. We're a real business, and we want to do things in a legitimate fashion where we see a lot of other protocols. They don't act like a true business, and they don't support their investors the same way, or even see the money that their investors put in the same way that a real business should. They kind of just look at it like it's, these digital tokens, this magic internet money, and they've seem to have taken that too far. So we want to ensure, from absolute certainty that the security is paramount. That's also why we have partnered officially, and we are now, if you go to their website, you'll see under the official partner section for both Paladin and Rugdoc, we are their official partners. They are our official partners. They are our go-to. We're going to be offering discounts to all of the people that come to list with us. If they're a new project and they need KYC, so that people can understand that they are safe, about who's behind the project, if they're not fully doxed already. And if they got something that's more involved than just a traditional NFT contract, it could be audited by Paladin. Both of these come at a discount when you work with us. So very, very, very happy about that. At the end of the day, we're not a fork. Every single thing is custom. Because we've been working so closely with Paladin, we've been getting everything polished up. We've been adding, just so many bespoke custom contracts, working not only, with our team, but in conjunction with the Paladin team directly. It's been a blessing working with them. And because of that, we've got a ton of intellectual property now that we've built out. And these are things that, a lot of people will get to see what we've built once we launch, or not launch, but once we get the Paladin audit back, and people get to see a lot of the code base. But they're also, because we are not a fork at all, a lot of this IP, if you will, from the code base is going to be obfuscated, where we want this private. This is our own and your own, because all of you as tokenized owners owning an NFT, you own this. And we don't want people to fork this. This is something that we've worked so hard on, and we've worked so hard on for the past few months, and graciously because of the success of the token that you all invested in. So that's really the updates that I've got, kind of a rehash for anyone that has stepped in here or anyone that's listening to the recording. That's what we're all about. We're a real business. We're a true entity. But more than that is we actually want to move forward as a real business. We are offering software as a service. We're building out a platform with a very, very competent tech team, as well as a competent the remaining bit of the team: marketing, operations, development, help, support, front end, back end, everything that we're building. We're making sure that every single team member fits the piece of the puzzle that needs to be fit, and we are an efficient, just powerhouse to put out these products that we want to, give to the hands, and that you guys will all own. These are all income producing services, and just like our tweet that went out earlier today, doesn't matter bear or bull, we're a software company. We're putting out software. That software takes fees, and those fees get distributed. It's simple as that.
Totally.
So if anyone else has anything to add, because I have been talking for quite a bit, go ahead, and then we'll open up for questions.
Yeah, I think the main thing that I just want to add on there is that, we're going to be releasing this marketplace, right? And then once that's in everybody's hands and they're using it, it doesn't stop there for us. We're going to continue building. We've already worked on the decentralized exchange, the DEX. We're working on the yield compiler, and then of course the launchpad for the entire Alpha Shares marketplace. The thing that you need to understand here, and I do want to make this clear because it's very true, and I know that there's been a lot of waiting here. I totally understand where everyone is at, market wise, everything. But once we release this marketplace, we're going to continue building. We're going to continue to bring value to the alpha token, right? And I really just what I'm seeing here behind the scenes is I don't think anyone will be able to outwork us in the long term. We are looking at this as a marathon and not a sprint. We're not out here competing. We're not out here looking at anyone else. We're only looking at alpha shares. And if you see that vision and you see what we're doing here, you'll understand that this is a protocol that will last for a very long time because we're not reliant on new investors. It is completely a brand new thing that is going to be released within DeFi, within Avalanche, and we also are going to be on Ethereum. And if you really think about it, we're championing Avalanche, right? I've seen a lot of NFTs coming out on Avalanche here recently. I'm feeling like there might be a solid new gathering here on Avalanche for NFTs, and it is looking very prosperous. But I just wanted to highlight, our developers, our team, our staffing, we don't stop, and it may not look like it all the time because you just cannot see behind the curtain, but we are constantly working, and I mean full time to get this out here for ourselves and you. Um, we absolutely want to only create the best quality, the best protocol. Period. End of story. And we're not willing to compromise for anything. And so yeah, that's my little addition there.
Thank you, Daniel. So yeah, we really want to open it up for questions for anyone else too that has any. I know that a lot of the questions need to be when launch, when moon, when that type of thing. We'd love to give you the answer on that. One thing that I can tell you is the moment we have, because like we've been very transparent about what we've been building out, and a couple of things that we have been building out are the search API. Instead of just using Subgraph to be the search functionality behind the entire marketplace for how you pull basically requests to search for different things, to filter, so on and so forth. And the search API is what allows us to basically add every other collection and not just operate on our own. And so instead of launching with the Subgraph and only allowing for our own NFTs to be auctioned and to be bid and to be traded, we're launching with it all. And so we've gotten to the point where we can now test it, and it's looking awesome. And I mean, more than awesome. And the moment, John's not here, and he's not going to hopefully kill me because it is dependent on his side and his team to push this out to where I can feel confident saying this. But the moment it is in a state to give a perfect, flawless demo, which it is. I mean, in my opinion, this is why I don't want to say things without John being here. But from what I've experienced with it, I think it's flawless. I want to show you guys right now. And so I think that it's only a very short period of time before you all get to see it, and soon after that, a very short period of time until it is fully released. So I can't wait. We all can't wait. Like Mark's been saying, we're working behind the scenes full time. The team is in communication literally for 12 to 15 hours a day, every day, and we're trying to do it on top of other work that we have outside of this. So with that being said, would love to open it up for any questions that you guys have, and we can start pulling people up as you guys put your hands up. Don't be shy. Oh, actually, I'm going to start with the AMA questions, I guess, that are in the chat. Let me see. Where'd that go?
We haven't gotten any AMA questions just yet, but
oh, you're right. Okay.
To give everybody like kind of a feeling of what it's going to be like is so you buy into some type of protocol, right? Before alpha shares, you buy into some type of protocol and you're expecting a return. How are you expecting that return? That return comes from people putting their liquidity in there, right? They buy in. And then other people that are already there start earning off the people putting money into it, right? The way that this works is entirely different. It's basically flip it 180. The people that buy in at any set or any point in time, there is no requirement of future people buying the alpha token, right? And these rewards that you'll be earning off of these wolves that are minted, when you earn those rewards, the alpha token is bought and paid for. So when you do decide to either stake your alpha tokens, if you buy enough or mint enough wolves and maybe stack up, you might be able to even buy more wolves, or however what your strategy looks like. Those alpha tokens are covered, right? They're bought and paid for. So when you decide to take your profits, which everyone in the space should do, you don't really even have to worry about the selling pressure there, because we have automatic built-in buy pressure that doesn't come from new investors. We are not a Ponzi, right? And if you look around, who is a Ponzi? Feels like pretty much everyone at this point. I'm
And that's
sure.
also why it's taken, a bit longer, is because, I mean, like I said, it's all custom code, it's all or nothing is a fork, everything is not a fork. Um, and it's because we are trying to be practically the Ponzi killer. There's no one that is operating and legitimately operating a business like this. People treat their protocol as a fun game, as an experiment, if you will, and it's an experiment with other people's money. And they're looking at completely experimental methods to push a protocol. A lot of people understand this, and a lot of people with deep pockets know that, you invest in 10 and maybe one succeeds and it pays back the losses of the rest. These are experimental DeFi protocols. Sometimes they go up, sometimes they go down. They're quote unquote little economies that sometimes work and sometimes don't. But at the end of the day, I think the vast majority, from a numbers base, maybe not from a strict dollar value base, but from the number of people and investors, specifically holders, if you will, wallet addresses, what they're looking for is to invest into a real business. They're looking to invest into something with a tried and true method, looking at the market, analyzing what does the existing market look like? What is the share of market that you could potentially take? What is your unique differentiator that allows you to take that share, allows you to either take share from current market entrants or competitors, if you will? If you're an entrant that's not an early adopter, what can you do? And so we've come in. We've announced what market segment we're tackling first, which we love to stay in the DeFi segment, but we're tackling NFTs in the NFT marketplace space because we know that. Why? That's the next question. Why do we target that? Well, it's because if you look at the NFT market as a whole, the NFT market has 20, 30, 100x, depending on what factors you look at. If you're looking at volume, if you're looking at total NFTs traded, so on and so forth, year over year, multiple X's. And it's in the billions and billions of dollars of volume in terms of dollars traded now. And that's only going to get bigger and bigger because of such a young industry that this is. And so there's no reason to say that, hey, well, now what are the competitors? What are the current entrants in this space, and how much do they make? And then you look at current marketplaces, because out of this multi-billion-dollar industry, what type of company takes the cake? Well, you have multiple companies. You have the company that makes the NFT projects. You've got Yuga Labs, you got Other Side, you got Deez, you got Azuki, you got Doodles, and the project founders, a lot of money goes to them. A lot of money obviously circulates back to the holders as they purchase at a floor and they sell for more. But the money, what I was just saying, everything there, the minting, the selling, the trading, that all has to be done on a piece of software that was built by a company. And currently it's OpenSea and LooksRare, Magic Eden, and a number of others. They all did things in great ways, but you have to figure out how can you also enter that market, and what do you do different? We're doing so many things different, and those marketplaces do around $100 million a day in volume. And in a bull market, they do more. And they take percentage fees, meaning they make millions and millions of dollars per week, per day. We could take a small segment of that. We could take the entire segment of that. We just have to work step at a time. And like Mark was saying, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But it gets us so excited just to think about what these prospects are, and especially listening in on other protocols and what these AMAs are like on other protocols. And people ask a simple question, like, what is this protocol? What do we do now? Like, if this didn't work out, what's the next step? How do we make millions and millions of dollars to pay back all these holders? And they have no answer. And the one big thing that I am very confident in and happy to say is that we have that answer, and we provide that answer to you, and we give you the calculations to back it up. We have reasoning behind it. We know why we did a collection of only 10,000 and capped it there. We know why we segmented and targeted the NFT market space. So this is where I get excited, because we break it down as a true business. And it honestly frustrates me you could probably tell with this little rant, it just frustrates me how many protocols just are not business savvy. They are not run by people that even understand finances, that understand business, that understand who a customer is. And so, yeah, a lot of I feel like, and I don't want to be rude here, but I feel like a lot of people that have not been educated in this. And so I'm very happy to say that our entire team is very educated. But I'll shut up off my rant now. And still, anyone that's got questions, please pop up your hand while we're ranting here. Go ahead, anyone else? Daniel, I kind of cut you off there too. My bad.
No. It was a beautiful rant, much needed. No, Pajama here, he did say he's just, giving us praise. Really appreciate you, my man. Also, he did say, he's like, actually, I do have one question. Can we get another look at the reworked wolves?
Oh, you said world, but I think you meant wolves. Yeah.
Yeah.
You will soon. You will very soon. We're very happy. I think we actually did just get the final rework done. And so we're just as excited. We don't want to release too much, like trickle it out over a slow period of time because we have so much to show, and we don't want to excite people before everything's ready. So it really is going to be a massive release, and you guys are going to be happy. But go ahead, Shalky, you're up here.
Hey, how's it going? So I'm fairly new to what you guys are doing. Just sort of joined in a couple of days ago. I'm just trying to get some information. I just listened to you guys this morning, and you mentioned sort of that you guys have software as a service as first and foremost. And I just wanted to check like what is the service and all the software that's being provided to sort of support that protocol.
Gotcha. Yeah. So for a new person, anyone else new that's listening, and I'm gonna. Is it okay if I mute you real quick? Or you mute yourself if your mic's picking up some feedback? Okay. I'll mute you real quick for you. So in terms of what software are we developing? Like I said, I was kind of breaking down the market segment of what are we doing, and right now we are targeting with our first release the NFT market. And what are we doing that with? Well, an NFT marketplace. And so, like I was saying, those biggest entrants right now, or competitors, if you will, which I don't consider them competitors because we are taking a vastly different approach to this. But at the end of the day, we would like to take a lot of the volume that is currently existing on those marketplaces. But OpenSea and LooksRare, they have each, like I was saying, $100 million of trading volume. That means people going to that marketplace and buying or selling NFTs. Those marketplaces take a fee, and we're doing the same thing. We're offering to put a new age, a next generation marketplace out in front of these people, that not only do you get to have a better UI and UX operating on our marketplace, but if you tokenize the ownership of the marketplace through one of our wolves, you get extra special benefits where if you are a massive NFT trader, it's going to be 100% will be more cost effective for you to trade on our platform than any other platform that's out there. And so if the average top competitor out there does $100 million a day in volume, and we even take 5% of that. Those are some pretty substantial returns that we take with our 2.5% fee on every collection, and half of all those fees go back to the people that hold one of our NFTs. 70% total, because another 20% will go to people staking the alpha tokens, similar to staking the Looks token. But literally 70% of all of that fee structure goes back to the community, the people either holding an NFT or staking one. And that's only the first piece of software that we're releasing in tandem and in parallel, if you will. We're already building out a DEX, an auto compounder, a yield farmer, and we've got many other things in the works. But the thing that we'll release soon after the marketplace will be the auto compounder and the DEX. And those designs are already complete. I'd love to show you those designs. It looks absolutely fantastic. And the only things that we're working on right now, and if anyone here is interested, which we've already got a number of people interested, is getting that initial seed liquidity for the DEX. And we've already got a lot of that in the works. It's just obviously first and foremost getting the marketplace launched, and then that's the second software as a service, if you will. But hopefully that answers your question, Shalky. I'll unmute you. Oh, you muted yourself. I'm so sorry. Well, you're unmuted now completely.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, no, that's good. Thanks. And I guess in terms of timeframes, I'm trying to find dates. Like I say that you've got a Genesis pool, Genesis auction, and then some whitelist, and then the public sort of mints going on for the alpha NFTs. Those have dates been set for that? Because I can't seem to.
Not yet. So yeah, that's what a lot of people in here are probably hoping we give out a date or something today. But we did announce a few days ago that um, you know we have obviously loved to have or have hoped to have launched by now. But we have a lot of things that we're adding in that, like I mentioned at the beginning of the AMA here. I'm not sure if you were here, but we were originally going to launch with a system in place, a back end system in place, if you will, that would allow us to launch quickly and get our NFTs out there, get the auction going, get the mint going. But then we'd have to iterate on top of that after about another week or two to get out what's called a search API, which is how every marketplace operates, which allows us the full functionality we need. And so instead of kind of doing this step-by-step approach, both with what the market's doing and not competitors, but other people in this DeFi space, we're seeing a lot of protocols kind of just, eat the crap that they've been sowing for themselves. And at the same time, we're continuing to chug along. And instead of releasing a product we iterate on, we're releasing the full product. So no dates just yet. We're very, very excited to give those dates when we have them. And it's safe to say we really are on the final tasks, the final handful of tasks. But these handful of tasks are pretty intensive. But very, very soon, no dates, just because I myself am so bad about giving dates. And Catman, you're probably laughing here, but I'm bad about giving dates, and then it doesn't happen because obviously I love to get this going. I'm very well invested with the entire team. But again, I'm not the technical person. I'm not the lead developer here, like our co-founder, and so I might get ahead of myself. But stay tuned, Shalky, because you'll be very excited when we have those dates out. And if you're only here for 2 days, you've got plenty of time to wait.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Of course, man. Yeah. Any other questions?
That's it for me.
Okay. Thanks for coming up, dude. I appreciate it.
Cheers.
So yeah, anyone else got any questions?
Would like to take a second to shout out Worlds Beyond. I see him in our audience, Darren. If you guys haven't done any research on that or even heard of it, they're basically like a NFT project that plays games in the metaverse and also with the metaverse. It's basically like a Steam, Stadia, and Roblox had a baby on the blockchain. It's
Yeah,
pretty
right.
cool.
And that's like the tech product that I guess the trial that you could use. You can kind of see it how it works right now, visualize it through a gamified experience. But the talks that I've had with Darren is far more than that. It is practically being able to deploy anything on the blockchain instead of on localized servers. And so if you let's say you had an application like a social media application, if literally the sites where those social media applications were getting hosted were just blown up or shut down or the power grids went out, people would lose data. You wouldn't be able to connect. It would be gone because it's hosted locally. But with the tech that Worlds Beyond is building and something that we'd love to continue to thrive our partnership together with building out our marketplace to address many of the concerns that he has of listing their type of product on existing marketplaces. It's so much more than just a typical NFT. And I'd recommend, it probably sounds very confusing what we're saying now, but like Mark was saying, click on his profile, go check that out. I didn't even recognize you were in here, Darren, but it's insane. Every time I see him, we have to announce something because it's absolutely insane what they're building over there. And this is a great example, too, of the types of products that are not products, but projects and companies, because they're a legitimate company as well that we want to partner up with and be able to cater to and build great things together with. We want to find those that are innovating, that are expanding, that are doing things different and pushing this space in the direction that needs to go. And we want to front run it with them. So check them out.
Yeah, I mean, to add to that, I'll just even say this. I mean, what Darren has built here, like he deserves so much more recognition than he's getting. It's absolutely absurd. Like when I first looked at his collections, my jaw dropped. I don't even like I didn't even know what I was looking at until I did some more research. I was like, what the heck? I mean, it really is some amazing stuff, but it just goes to show you like people will only catch on to things like what Darren is building, like what Alpha Shares is building, until they absolutely have to catch on, right? And that is what we call FOMO, my friends, right? And so all we can do is just keep building, keep presenting a quality and premium product. And yeah, I mean, I just had to shout you out, Darren. I'm sorry, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that we should be too sorry about that. But no, we definitely want to give credit where credit's due. And feel free even in the general chat too if you want to post anything that you want in there about it to kind of show it off. Yeah, it's really cool. If you look up at any of their NFTs, the issue though that we want to solve is if you like look at the NFTs on. Actually, he wants to talk. I'll let him come up here. I love it. I couldn't like get you up, so I invited. There we go.
Hey guys,
How's it going, Darren?
Make luck over here.
Hey, like I said, we love to give credit where credit's due, and honestly, like I said earlier too, projects like your own are very ambitious, and they are the types of projects that we want to build our marketplace around. So go ahead, and honestly, a lot of people here probably haven't heard about what you're building. It's a nice little, didn't expect it, but if you no, I want you to. I want you to tell people here because I think that honestly, it's a great example of what we are doing in the space.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think they'd be interested. Go for it.
Yep.
Well, I think as well, like what definitely drew me towards you guys is that the current marketplace is really set up around video, JPEGs, and there's not a lot more that you can do in, say, the stage of the NFT. But the NFT technology allows you to uncover just so much more within the blockchain than what we're currently seeing, as you've obviously gone into a bit of detail with us. Like we're able to run full applications inside of IPFS that can never be taken away from you. You have complete ownership of the data that you've got. There's privacy concerns out there in Web 2, the security concerns in Web 2 that are all completely mitigated when you move over to being able to handle these things peer-to-peer in a blockchain. And so having a marketplace that's allowing us to be able to portray that, like we've got on OpenSea, you can play like the previews of the games that are coming for Worlds Beyond inside of OpenSea, which is amazing. Full 3D games, they're running within WebAssembly and web containers. For anyone that's kind of a bit technical, allows you to have that full experience that you would get on your PC games or even some console games. We've got the likes of WebGPU coming in with the Vulkan API in the next sort of 18 months natively to browsers, which will allow us to release up to sort of AAA title games, like really high graphics that utilize the majority of your computer's hardware. So having a marketplace that allows us to be able to show that, but also can work with us to really highlight the difference between what that is and what the JPEG NFT is really crucial to us. But yeah, Worlds Beyond is it's more of a use case for our company Snippets. Snippets has built a whole bunch of tools that allows you to build these applications in the browser, inside of IPFS with zero dependency, zero cost in hosting, and allows you to deploy them within a few minutes. So even like with Worlds Beyond, we're making 7 worlds ourselves as games and metaverses, but the idea is that each of those holders have access to Web 2 games that can be bridged over within a matter of minutes, and those Web 2 developers can literally earn from those in a matter of minutes as well. So it's a really big task that we've taken on, but we've proven most of it so far, and the Worlds Beyond NFT is minting right now across 5 different chains. So yeah, it's a difficult one to explain to people, but I don't want to hijack too much of your time here because I know you've got important stuff to get through. But
we're of course we're really waiting on questions. I mean, by all means, even if anyone here has questions specifically for Worlds Beyond and Darren here, it's very cool stuff, and I don't take it at all as you taking up our time. Again, this update is really, we want to give this time to our community to ask us any questions that they have. We are a very transparent community and team of leaders, if you will, where hopefully we want to make sure that even when we come to these AMAs, nobody's got questions because we've already answered the ball, during our communications throughout the week. But if anyone's got questions specific, exactly. But if anyone's got questions about Snippets, World Beyond, directly to Darren too. I mean, this is the type. Go ahead. Sorry.
I said, I think as well that we form very similar visions of what we want out of our products and our projects. In that, for example, taking dependency away from the current market conditions and being able to reward those people that have invested into us with more long-term strategic return on their investment, rather than sort of, the price goes up, the price goes down, we're winning, we're losing, whatever it might be. But we're building actual reflections into the actual tokens that are supporting the product, rather than trying to just get more people to come in and buy your token and build up that liquidity. I think that's something that really drew me towards you guys as well, because I do like products that are built on the companies that are built on the product, and I'm getting my investment back from that, rather than from just hoping that another 1,000 people spend their money next week in this token, so I can get out and make a little bit of profit.
Completely. And in most projects, I mean, the only people that get to benefit, I mean, even in the projects that for the average investor, it's dependent on the token price, but who gets to still benefit from the activity behind that project? It's typically just the owners. It's the people that are the founding team, right? Even if the token price goes up or down, and they might have a lot of tokens, which is nice for them. But most of the time, token owners and the teams behind them, they make the money off of the transactions, the fees, if you will, from the transactional volume. And that's the benefit that they get, because they don't have to hurt the chart. They don't have to worry about what the coin's doing. And I completely agree. And that's something that I think that is lacking in this space, which is difficult, to go about the correct way, especially with regulation and all these things. But I really think that it's the future. It's how can you get the average person, because of what the blockchain provides in terms of capability, to be able to actually be that type of shareholder where they get almost dividends from company performance, right? It's not just about what the token looks like, but it's rather if people are actually interacting with it, and if it's a profitable company, then the profits get split up. But
Absolutely.
we don't see that. We don't see that at all. So I completely agree, and that's why we're so excited to work with Snippets as well with you.
Yeah. Well, I just want to add here. Great minds think alike, Darren. We definitely. I know that for a fact. John and Tyler and the rest of the team really took their time to scan the DeFi system and build something that we just actually wanted to see, right? I mean, be the change that you want to see, okay? And that's exactly where we're at. But the second thing I actually wanted to say was, did you mention something about the storage capabilities, or you wouldn't? Could you clarify a little bit based on, I don't want to butcher this, but you don't necessarily need like storage?
So we use storage, but what we do is we locally store that within your browser using the IndexedDB API, which gives us about as much storage as your computer's capable of. There are some browsers that don't allow more than a certain amount, but it's generally about 100 gigabytes. So most games will fit within that, so that's absolutely fine. The storage is all done locally. So realistically, what you're getting within IPFS is you're getting a build file in HTML, and that build file then pulls all of those resources out of IPFS as well. We've got version control in there, so you can have the updates over the air. You can even run back different versions, which is quite unique, because there are certain applications where we might want to give one version to one group of investors and one group a different version to another group. Being able to roll out and conditionally pick out those versions allows us for great performance in there. And in actual fact, within IPFS, we actually see the likes of our textures and our renders running within the browser 60% faster than you would off of a Web2 service, even with a content delivery network, because you're pulling peer-to-peer, you're pulling from your closest nodes. So it's generally a lot faster. You've got no real restrictions on the storage. Currently with WebGL2 there are performance restrictions, but with WebGPU you'll see much more performance coming out of it, and very close to what you're able to get out of out of your machine entirely from just downloading the game and playing it there. But saying that, even in WebGL we've got amazing 3D experiences. So our first metaverse, which is it's a nil cylinder in orbit. It's got 32 kilometers wide by 7 kilometers of city landscape. There's 125 buildings hosting 125 projects. All of those have between sort of 5,000 and 8,000 apartments inside of those. And whilst we do a few things to try and make the performance better by hiding things when you don't need them to be loaded, a lot of it we're actually loading in real time. So you can walk around with just an unrestricted access to the entire
Wow.
metaverse, which is, I think, rather incredible.
I have one question for you.
Yep.
Have you signed up for our NFT conference?
No. Oh, we look. We're yeah. When it comes down to these AMAs and stuff, we jump on them. We've done a few, but they're just so time consuming. And whilst the Worlds Beyond is out, the full functionality is out. We're currently building 7 worlds, and just being drawn away for that for like a day is such a burden on our sprints and our agile life cycle that it's just very tough for us to set aside a time and say, okay, someone's going to be there.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up real quick. I'm gonna stop you right there because this is why we also like we've been saying we want to do things differently. We think that a lot of this space is not professional. I myself was getting absolutely frustrated, beating my head against the wall when I was going into these spaces, and I was waiting for 2, 3, 4 hours before I could speak, and then I finally speak, and then it's degenerate as hell.
Yeah.
And so what we decided to do was make our own spaces, and it's actually worked out very well because it's a professional NFT conference where when you sign up, and feel free to do this like another week too if you're already busy tomorrow, but when you sign up, you actually get a time slot, and we actually always within about 5 to 10 minutes of that time slot. So even if you needed to, you'd be in and out within 20, 25 minutes.
Oh, 100%. We will get to it, definitely. Probably not tomorrow, but in the next coming weeks, we'd love to. Yeah.
Perfect. Now, I just want to let you know because that's why we did it, is because exactly how you feel.
Oh, yeah. And you know what, they do sales, which, look, everyone loves sales and we love sales, but at the end of the day, the product is what's going to get the sales. And so developing that product is the most important goal especially on our team.
Oh, I agree. I mean, it makes me frustrated when I don't go into other spaces anymore because of that. I'm like, I don't care. I like to host our own because another reason for our spaces is also to let projects pitch to us so that we can make a list of who we want to verify when we launch. But yeah, I don't even go into other spaces anymore because, again, it's me shilling to a bunch of people that are looking for giveaways. And what really matters is, you're absolutely correct, showing the product.
Yeah.
Get the product out and then, you let it come organically. If it takes longer, that's absolutely fine. Everyone gets rewarded at the end.
Definitely.
Absolutely. And I only really brought it up because it's something that just absolutely intrigues me. Like I said, jaw dropped when I was moving the robot around in that space room. I was just like, wow.
In the little preview,
Yeah, dude, if you go to one of our spaces and pin up one of your tweets with a listing so people can interact with it, it's going to go over well. So that's why we're excited because honestly, we don't really know anyone else building tech like this. So it's always exciting when someone's building something new and different.
Yeah. Our main goal is to hit the B2B market with the Snippets software as a service, but Worlds Beyond is the showcase to show what everything is capable of. Like, the actual Worlds Beyond NFT isn't a game. The Worlds Beyond NFT is in some ways a marketplace as well for the Web2 gaming. But inside of that, it has social functions, it has like chat functions, you've got friends that you can join different servers with to play different games with, you've got the rewards, you've got referral program in there, you've got all of these different things inside of one single application running inside of IPFS. And then everything else that comes, the games, they're deployed as NFTs as well, but they're registered straight away into Worlds Beyond, so you can play them from one collective space. But you can also sell them via your Worlds Beyond NFT, and you can make back money from that as well. So there's so much going on in that. It's a very difficult thing for everyone to understand immediately, but we'll help people understand over time.
That's the best part, though. If you understand it right away, then it's way too simple and it's boring and it's not. It's nothing new, right? It has to be new. It has to be something you're like, what is that? Like, and that's exactly what Mark was saying. Like, and that's how I felt. I look at it and I'm like, wait, what? You could interact with an NFT. You can actually play a game within this. And so it's like, how the hell do you do this? And that's exactly what intrigues me. I think intrigues a lot of other people. And we hope to get that response too once we put out our products. So
100%.
That's the goal.
Seeing you guys working towards a marketplace that will support our our type of NFT or the application side of the NFTs in more detail and really allow that experience. Because I see the NFT as an experience. Whether you're buying a JPEG or you're buying, I don't know, a game with inside of the NFT, it's all the experience of the purchase. Obviously, there's a lot of sort of speculation that you put in as far as what you might get out of your investment into it. But the experience is a thing that really needs to be portrayed. And there's not a lot of marketplaces that support that. OpenSea do, but very limitedly.
Yep, I know. So that's why I'm glad that we can spearhead this market together, and I really do think it's the future. So and so thank you for coming up here too and talking about it, so that everyone here listening to you get some really early alpha. I've been hoping to get Darren up here at some point in front of us, but for anyone even listening to the recording, that's definitely some early alpha for you guys to know that, we're already working behind the scenes. Like I said, we work behind the scenes often, but we don't really announce everything, right? I didn't go and have my first conversation with Darren and then go and announce to the community, look at this, right? But for those 27, 30 of you that are listening right now, these are the types of things that we are excited about, working with other legitimate companies that are showcasing real advanced technology, because that's what this is all about. We're a technology company, and we try to innovate in the blockchain space. So that's what it all is about: decentralization, making it so that we're not still continuing in this Web 2 world. And this is the exact theme that we're going for. So thank you, Darren, again, for coming up here and talking to everyone too.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Absolutely. And if anybody listening to the recording or anyone in here, if you do want to find snippets on Twitter, it is snippets NFT, no spaces, nothing, just snippets NFT. So you can find them there. Super interesting stuff. Might even need to do some kind of joint AMA together, but it does also tie into the NFT conference. And I want to give everybody a little update here before looking like we might start winding down, but tune into our NFT conference tomorrow. We have over 15 projects signed up, plenty of prizes, plenty of things to get involved with, and a lot of early alpha. And of course, just got an update. It's looking more like 22 projects have signed up. But and of course, at the end there, we're going to be giving out $100 in AVAX to one lucky listener. That could easily be one of you. So just hang out, tune in, grab some popcorn. Early alpha NFT conference tomorrow.
There you go. If anyone's got any questions too, I think we did have actually a pretty productive. I know it was really originally supposed to be some updates, but I'm actually very glad that we pulled up Darren here. Probably got him all frantically away from whatever he was doing. But no, I appreciate him coming up, and it was actually very productive. I'm glad. But if anyone's got questions about anything here that we talked about,
there's one more in AMA.
Okay, gotcha. I was wondering why you're unmuted. It was coming through. Token. I want to say someone mentioned some pricing on personal PFP created with a team of artists. Had that gotten anywhere? Yes, so I did mention that. I did kind of hint at that earlier as well. We are going to be letting the artists, or I guess you can commission our artists to get custom PFPs done. But we are still working out the intricacies of exactly how that's going to work. What benefits you get if you, let's say, hold an NFT. Things like that. So we're still working out the specifics. If you are interested, feel free to give us some early interest and let us know. But we haven't released the specifics yet. But yes, it's going to definitely be a thing. We want to make sure that we never even seen anyone else do that before. And we wanted to make sure that we could fully integrate what people want into their own profile pictures. At the end of the day, a profile picture is supposed to emulate you and the things that you like. So we're very excited about that. I get another question? Maybe upgrade a base NFT and do a custom one for a small fee? Like I said, we will announce the specifics soon. There are plenty of ideas we have, but we also want you guys to interact with the marketplace that we put out, because that's where you would be interacting to do this exact sort of thing as well. So it's all going to come at the same time. But yes, that's definitely going to be a thing for sure. Anyone want to stick their little mitten up? If no one no one poses a question in the next minute or so, I think that we'll call it a good Wednesday, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. Regardless, hopefully you all are there. But again, like I said at the beginning too, And I see another question popped in, but while I look at that, oh, Mitten, yeah, shut up. While like I said at the beginning, I do appreciate everyone that comes out here and shows up all the time. You guys are our loyal supporters, and I don't want to say loyal supporters like your little dogs that are sitting there and supporting us. No, you guys are true investors. You're people that actually see the value in something, and I hope that everything that I say when I'm up here on the stage and all the conviction that I have behind the project, you guys feel as well. And I think you do, because we like to answer all the questions that you have. We like to ease any feelings, any concerns. Like we've been talking about, we are a true business, a real business. We're trying to tackle this. There's no precedent for building this. God, my voice, for building this type of thing, but we're trying to tackle it as if it was the precedent of building a real legitimate company, a startup, if you will. We've taken the startup approach. We've been pulling everything by our own bootstraps, and we've been hiring, trying to develop a perfect team to push out the perfect products. And obviously there's going to be some humps. There's going to be some bumps in the road. And that's just something that we have to get over, because we're building and we're growing, and there's never going to be a perfect mix at the very beginning. But we've gotten now to a point where we are just going to launch this first product, and it is going to be a steamroll all the way down the line, making sure that Alpha Shares is the go-to brand for anyone that's interested in DeFi, in NFTs, or a combination of those both. So thank you all again for coming out here. We're always open and available for any questions that you guys have. Always in the chat. I mean, at any time, you guys can even just personally DM me, and I will always respond within a few minutes, most likely, unless I'm away from my computer for something else. But we're always available, very transparent. Thank you all for coming out here. If Merc, Niles, you got any closing words? Go ahead.
Yeah, just of course, see us again tomorrow at the NFT conference. A lot going on tomorrow. It'll be pretty busy, pretty packed out. We got a lot of projects, and of course a DJ. So yeah, please tune in if you want to win $100 in AVAX.
There you go. Yep, free money. While you're at work and sitting there, put your AirPod in, just put one of them in, cup your ear on your head like you're just holding your head up like you're tired, and just listen in. But no, thank you guys for everyone for showing up today too. I know everyone's got busy days, and so for taking the time to come and hang out with me and my blabbering, I appreciate it. But thank you all, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday or possibly Thursday morning, wherever you are.